Hello guys and welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video. And in this video I will be talking about the S-62 generation from Tokyo Revengers. And in this video series, I will be explaining every single gang in Tokyo Revengers. And this video is going to contain manga spoilers from Tokyo Revengers. Anyway guys, before I get into this video guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more Tokyo Revengers videos. So let's get into the video now. So the S-62 generation is a gang that is led by Izana Kurokawa. And in this gang Izana has many powerful subordinates under his command, and I will be explaining all of them in this video. And the S-62 generation is a gang that consists of 6 known members, and all 6 of these members are very famous delinquents. And the founding members of this gang are Izana Kurokawa, Yasuhiro Muto, the Haitani brothers, Shion Madarame, and Kanji Machizuki. And the S-62 generation gang has a very famous reputation, and this gang is also known as the Vicious Generation. And the Vicious Generation is an exclusive group that consists of 6 teenagers, and all 6 of these delinquents met each other when they were 13 years old. And the reason why this gang is known as the Vicious Generation is because they are famous for committing many heinous crimes, and they are also known for committing many brutal acts of violence. And the S-62 generation gang was created in the year 2001. And in the year 2001, we saw that Izana committed many crimes, and so because of these criminal offenses, he got locked up in a juvenile detention center. And at this juvenile detention center Izana met the rest of the S-62 generation members. And during this time Izana defeated all of the S-62 generation members, and we saw that he defeated them all by himself. And this scene from chapter 139 was showing us the moment that led to the creation of the S-62 generation gang, and from that day onward, all 5 of these delinquents became Izana's subordinates. And in this moment Yasuhiro Muto was telling Izana that he is the only person who is capable of leading them. And in this scene Izana was beating up an officer in the juvenile detention center, and Izana beat this officer to a bloody pulp. And after beating up this officer Izana told everyone that one day, they will gather together. And then Izana told them that until that day comes, they need to become even more vicious. And in this moment, the S-62 generation members decided to give their lives to Izana, and they serve him with their undying loyalty. And this gang would eventually gain a very famous reputation in the delinquent world of Tokyo, and this gang became famously known as the Vicious Generation. And after the S-62 generation was released from jail, this gang would eventually go on to commit many heinous crimes. And with Izana as their leader, the S-62 generation committed many crimes like robbery, assault, and drug trafficking. And then some time later, each of these delinquents formed their own gangs, and it was around this time that they became famously known as the Vicious Generation. And during this time, the Vicious Generation ruled the delinquent world of Tokyo, and this gang was feared by everyone. However, after the death of Shinichiro, Izana decided to retire from the delinquent lifestyle, and Izana stepped back from everything. And during this time Izana was homeless, and he also became extremely depressed, and he had hit rock bottom. And then a few years later, after Kisaki was kicked out of Toman by Mikey, Kisaki decided to approach Izana, and in this moment Izana decided to team up with Kisaki. And after teaming up with Kisaki, Izana reunited with the S-62 generation members, and together they created Tenjiku gang. And Izana became the president of this gang, and all of the S-62 generation members came together once again to serve under Izana. And after Tenjiku gang was created, the S-62 generation members turned 18 years old, and during this time Yasuhiro Muto said that they are done playing around with childish biker gangs. And the goal of Tenjiku gang is to become the most powerful crime syndicate in all of Japan, and the S-62 generation members are determined to accomplish this goal. And Yasuhiro Muto told Izana that this time, they will turn the dream of the S-62 generation into a reality. And after Tenjiku gang was created, Kanji Machizuki became one of the 4 heavenly kings of Tenjiku gang. And Ran Haitani and Shion Madarame both became one of the 4 heavenly kings of Tenjiku. And Rindo Haitani and Yasuhiro Muto both became executives of Tenjiku gang. And during the battle of Tenjiku vs Toman, we got to learn more about the crimes that were committed by the Vicious Generation, and Izana was telling Hanma and Kisaki about all of these crimes. And we learned that Kanji Machizuki was charged with committing the crime of obstruction of official government duties, and he was also charged with the crime of assault. And Izana told us that this happened when Machi attacked a police officer who came to stop a fight, and he beat this police officer to a bloody pulp. And Yasuhiro Muto was charged with the crime of assault, and the person who he assaulted had such a severe spinal injury that he was paralyzed from the waist down. And Izana told us that Muto used a judo slam to commit this assault, and this judo slam was so powerful that it broke the spinal cord of his opponent. And the Haitani brothers were charged with the crime of inflicting deadly injury, and this happened during a famous battle known as Roppongi Battle of the Ashes. And when the Haitani brothers were still only 13 years old, the captain and vice-captain of the Roppongi Max Maniac gang, which was the largest gang in Tokyo at that time, decided to pick a one-on-one fight with the Haitani brothers. And the event was entitled Roppongi Battle of the Ashes. And when the fight started, the older brother Ran Haitani was easily able to defeat the captain with only a single punch. And after defeating the captain, Ran immediately went after the vice-captain who was fighting against Rindo. And as Rindo was locking down the joints of the vice-captain, Ran was viciously punching the vice-captain in the face, and he beat the vice-captain to a bloody pulp. And during this battle the vice-captain suffered heavy injuries, and his face caved in, and his skull was fractured, and these injuries were so severe that he ended up dying. And ever since that day, the Haitani brothers ruled the city of Roppongi when they were only 13 years old. And these various crimes committed by the S-62 generation members is the reason why they became famously known as the Vicious Generation. And after Tenjiku gang was disbanded, the S-62 generation members all got arrested by the police, and after being arrested by the police they all got taken back to the juvenile detention center. And after being taken back to the juvenile detention center, the S-62 generation members met Toronto South for the very first time. And South said that he wanted to defeat the S-62 generation members so that he could become the #1 fighter in the Kantou region. And at this juvenile detention center we saw that South fought against the S-62 generation members, and during this battle he was able to defeat them all by himself. And after they got released from jail, the S-62 generation members became members of the Rokuhara Tandai gang, and this means that they served directly under Toronto South. However, Yasuhiro Muto is the only S-62 generation member that did not become a member of the Rokuhara Tandai, and the reason for this is because when he got out of jail, Muto was killed by Sanzu. And Kanji Machizuki became the #4 of the Rokuhara Tandai gang, and Shion Madarame became the #5 of the Rokuhara Tandai gang. And Rindo Haitani became the #3 of the Rokuhara Tandai gang, and Ran Haitani became the #2 of the Rokuhara Tandai gang. However, after Mikey's victory in the Battle of the Three Deities, the Rokuhara Tandai gang was absorbed by the Kantou Manji gang, and this resulted in the S-62 generation members becoming members of the Kantou Manji gang. And Ran Haitani became the captain of the Special Attack Unit. And Rindo Haitani became the vice-captain of the Special Attack Unit. And Shion Madarame and Kanji Machizuki both became executives of the Kantou Manji gang. And in an alternate future timeline during the Bonten arc, the remaining S-62 generation members all became executives of Bonten gang. However, the only remaining members in this timeline are Kanji Machizuki, Ran Haitani, and Rindo Haitani. Anyway guys, in the final timeline of Tokyo Revengers, we saw that Izana was saved by Mikey and Takemichi. And in this timeline we saw that Izana actually joined Toman, and he became the 8th division captain of the Tokyo Manji gang. And in this timeline Kikucho became Izana's vice-captain, and the rest of the S-62 generation members just became members of the 8th division. And in this timeline every single one of the S-62 generation members are still serving under Izana, and this is showing us that Izana is their rightful leader. And after Toman was disbanded, we saw that Izana became the leader of a non-profit organization for underprivileged orphans, and this non-profit organization is called Tenjiku. And as the director of this non-profit organization Izana travels the world, and he also collects donations from Kisaki and Koko. And we also saw that Kikucho, Shion, Mucho, and Kanji are all helping Izana by working as volunteers. And in this final timeline the Haitani brothers both became the owners of their own club, and they are currently working together at this club. And the Haitani brothers are using their teamwork to create the best club possible. And throughout the story, the Haitani brothers have always been shown to have a very strong brotherly bond, so it makes sense that they are working together in the final timeline. And in this final timeline we saw that the S-62 generation members were attending the wedding of Takemichi and Hinata. And at this wedding they were wearing suits and ties, and we saw that they were having fun celebrating together. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the Vicious Generation. And if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, then like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.